Hi guys, this is Lada from Astrolada.com, and I'm here with your weekly horoscope for the first week of December, which is from the 3rd of December till the 10th of December 2017. And this week, two major events are happening. The whole week is under the influence of Saturn conjunct Mercury, and Mercury is retrograde, and Jupiter trine Neptune. So I'm going to speak about each sign individually, how this will influence you. First, I'll say generally what those two influences mean, but then we're going to go through each sign: Aries, Taurus, and this prediction is for everyone's. You have to check your ascendant sign because it indicates the physical body, what's tangibly happening to you. You have to check also your moon sign second. The moon sign is how you emotionally respond to this. It's also the moon sign, it represents karma and karmic events that are more kind of, how do I say, that are coming from the past somehow. And the sun sign is more connected to our free will and how we can direct events. The prediction from the sun sign, you have more free will there to manifest in the direction you want, while the ascendant and moon sign are kind of a bit more set in stones. So check the three of them if you want the most insight, in-depth understanding. And even if they are contradictory, because sometimes you might have your ascendant sign in, say, in Virgo and your moon sign in Pisces, they're opposite, so the prediction will sound as if it's opposite, but you see different levels in your life that somehow you will experience both. You know, life is multi-layered, so contradictory things can happen. Before that, I want to announce that next weekend on the 9th and 10th of December, Robert Phoenix, on the first day, I think it has his webinar on Astrolada about Saturn in Capricorn, how it will personally affect you. He does predictions. He is astrologer, very famous astrologer on Gaia TV. And just for Astrolada.com viewers, he's giving our audience a fantastic webinar on what to expect from Saturn in Capricorn for the next 2.5 years. He was alive an astrologer when Saturn was in Capricorn 29 years ago, so he has firsthand experience how it will influence you. He's one of the few astrologers that actually has observations, you know. Also, we have on the next day, or maybe the first day, Saturday or Sunday, Marina Heliacal phases with Marina. She sends you predictions for 5 years based on your personal horoscope. And she explains what it means for you when planets become visible and invisible in your personal horoscope. For example, when Venus becomes invisible, it might be for 2-3 years, love life and anything connected to Venus does not manifest so easy outside in life. Or if the ruler of your 10th house becomes visible at that time, say for 2-3 years, it means your career will peak and give the most powerful results it comes. So this will, it's like very personal astrology, the two webinars, and one is 30% off, the one with Robert Phoenix, and the other one is only 59%, $59 with Marina, the Heliacal phases, and she does proper calculations, you know, for each one of you, for when planets are visible and invisible for the next 5 years. Anyway, let's go to the week. And this week, I spoke already in my last weekly, which was 2 weeks ago, about the Mercury-Saturn conjunction. The whole week from the 3rd to the 7th is under the influence of Mercury and Saturn are together within 1 degree, basically. And I said 2-3 weeks ago when I did the video that this will be like a karmic reset, karmic clearing of all that, but things from the past will come to the surface very powerfully this week, because this is the last couple of weeks of Saturn staying in Sagittarius before it leaves, and it's transiting the galactic center very close now, and Mercury becomes retrograde on the galactic center with Saturn. The galactic center is the middle of the universe where all the impulse for evolution comes to us. The biggest evolutionary waves of growth come from there. And when the planet of karma is there, almost like this, the purging of karma, of old karma, is happening before Saturn enters its own sign in Capricorn, where it starts a new karmic cycle for all of us. Because when a planet enters its own sign, it's kind of a symbolic new start, essence connected to that planet, and Capricorn of course rules Saturn, but this is like the final clearing through the purging energy of the galactic center of all the energy in our life connected to whatever Sagittarius falls in your horoscope. So there will be a lot of things from the past that are coming in place, and also Mercury is retrograde there with Saturn. Mercury is the planet of examining the facts, looking, and when it's retrograde, it's like our mental focus is on the past somehow. Things from the past come to be re-examined, to be reassessed, especially connected with the karmic lessons that we've had for the past 2.5 years. And the more complicated and difficult situations that we had, some of you might start finding yourself, and maybe you're already finding yourself thinking about the past, dreaming about the past, you know, having dreams about that, or just issues connected to the past coming, you know, to remind you, so you can make some kind of a summary, recapitulation, and conclusion in regards to the events connected to quite a long period of your life. Actually, it might be not even the past, might be the last 29 years, because I said both Mercury and Saturn are at the galactic center. The next time Saturn will be at the galactic center will be in about 28, 29 years, when it will have the purging influence again to burn off old karma. But burning off old karma is not necessarily an easy process, because it's about things coming to the surface, escalating very fast, seeing the consequences of your actions, so you can finally, so it's kind of, it's like a wound that comes to the surface to burst and to be released from that wound that you've had for many years, for example. But it's been internalized and now it comes to the surface. So events can escalate in a sense that they can become more intense and more, how do I say, almost like a peak of some sort in regards to whatever Saturn falls in your Sagittarius, basically in the area of your horoscope that is Sagittarius, and we'll speak about each sign one by one. And Mercury allows you to review your actions there, and allows you to review and to make a plan, because Mercury retrograde is about making a new plan. Basically, the old plan is not working. You see what's failing there. So Mercury retrograde makes you to reconsider different options of your plans, especially because it's in the sign of Sagittarius in regards to the future and how you're going to act in the future. So those karmic and difficult patterns of Saturn don't repeat anymore. And there might be some eureka moments as well. But generally for everyone this week, just speaking about the week, Mercury, let's see, on the mundane level, on everyday level, rules things like business meetings, commercial activities, communications, letters, documents, information, laptops, phones, anything, any way to communicate, any careers that are white-collar careers, administrative, writing, speaking, communicating. And those things slow down because Mercury is with Saturn. They might be delayed, they might be kind of more cumbersome, there might be more, everyone might have more responsibilities and duties to check more correctly, you know, the information and what they're talking about. For example, business meetings can get prolonged, signing of contracts and negotiations, which Mercury rules, can get prolonged or stalled or delayed. But that's not because the universe just wants to be nasty to you. It's because there's some omission or some mistake. And Mercury going retrograde will allow you to find it out. It will come to the surface, so you can fix it for the next few weeks, actually, while Mercury is retrograde. But now is like the slowing down of the frame that Saturn allows, you know, that Saturn instigates, slowing down of the frame of all this, because Mercury is very fast planet. Communication, information, who you talk with on a daily basis, who you exchange information, what business you do, who you communicate with, you know, business activity, work activity of some sort, daily routines, everything. Mercury is very fast. And with Saturn now, it all slowed down. It made more heavier responsibilities there. So you slow down and you see some omissions that you've made. Maybe you said something, maybe you sent some wrong information or email that kind of you see the consequences now. Maybe you mixed up some project you were working, and or maybe you're preparing some business plan and you find some omissions. So the universe allows you to slow down now. It slows you down so you can start seeing those omissions, fix them. And in a few weeks, when Mercury starts moving direct, you also can move forward again. But again, as I said, on the most spiritual level, deeper level, there is some peaking of matters connected to the house of Sagittarius and conclusions there that will be happening, wrapping it up, final escalation of events there, and then they get resolved. And at the same time, though, And also be careful any electronic devices, communication devices, that they don't get damaged, broken. You know, Saturn has this influence of things going old, or you can buy second-hand things, for example. Now, any communication device that are refurbished, repaired, it's a good time when Mercury is retrograde conjunct Saturn in particular. Also, communications with authority figures, so figures with bosses and people with some kind of a more authority or seniority of some sort by age or experience, can become more intense. And it's a good combination for business negotiations, but not to move forward with those business plans yet, to work over them over and over, maybe repeated meetings. Also, some old skills, Mercury rules skills, will come to many of us to our help. Saturn is something old, something that we have mastery over already. So we might have to kind of take out of the toolbox certain skills that we've forgotten about, that we haven't used, and put our mostest, bestest efforts of mastery using those skills to, you know, to complete some job or to fix some job of some sort. Because Mercury skills, Saturn is something from the past, fixing, correcting things of some sort. But business, Saturn rules serious stuff. Mercury's communication information, serious communication information for business should be productive, but slow down and more cumbersome. As I said, and if you are Saturnian, say if you're Aquarius ruled, if you have Sun, Moon, or Ascendant in Aquarius or in Capricorn, then actually for you, you might be very busy for the next few weeks, starting with this week very strongly with editing something from the past, having to fix some projects, having to review, revise, go over details, be very attention to details. A lot of information comes around you now because Mercury influences your planet, Saturn, which means that there's a lot of mercurial energy around you, younger people, a lot of communication information, a lot of maybe short travels, busyness and business of any sort that needs administrative, mental work around you. A lot of communication, writing, speaking, teaching of some sort. If you're Mercury ruled, which means you have Sun, Moon, or Ascendant in Gemini or Virgo, then for you, Saturn kind of is the heavier influence. So you feel Saturn on your planet because you're Mercury. And you're doing something, going back and reviewing something from the past again. But Saturn can require you to work much harder. Things might be a bit more delayed. You might feel a bit more negative, more serious, more like extras. All of a sudden you might realize that you have on your plate twice as much work than you expected because something has to be fixed or whatever, you know. So expect this. But for everyone, no matter what sign you are, this Mercury Saturn conjunction, pay attention to details. It's good for business, but you have to proceed slowly and check everything. You have to be aware that our mental capacities, which is Mercury, now mental skills, we have to use them to we have to use old skills of some sort for best results, and we have to use some kind of we have to be more cautious when communicating, not to rush, to be slow, not to react too fast. Because Saturn demands us to slow down, and we have to be aware that we might be a little bit more negative mentally, that we might be seeing just like the problems in matters, and you might realize that others approach you like that and point you out where your problems are. And this is already in action. I've been seeing it on my comment section, because usually the viewers are fantastic, and out of 100 comments there will be one negative one, or like constructive criticism. And since Mercury and Saturn are together, I've been noticing, I mean, every day they're like 15, 20 out of 200, there'll be 20, which is increased a lot. That's a lot, you know, that's a 20-time-fold increase, I'd say. Comments like people telling me what's the problem, what I have to fix and stuff like that, because people when Mercury and Saturn are together become more aware and more conscious of where the problem is, what has to be fixed, you know, and they can be more easily irritated by things that don't work or that are not exactly right, and they want to give their opinion and tell that. So I'm trying to tell myself, don't react, you know. This is the overall general influence currently, and you'll notice it at your work, in your everyday communications with people, that people are just a bit more critical, that they're looking under what's it called, like a magnifying glass at what might be wrong, you know, because Mercury is our mind and how we process reality and perceptions, and Saturn is this, you know, kind of hard taskmaster. So we have the pressure on us, and we're putting the pressure on others with this combination. Light conversations might not be so easy to come by. Mercury and Saturn makes us want to think serious stuff, to dig deep, to revise, to fix problems. But for business, again, I repeat, and for serious matters and negotiations, it's good. Some old documents might come back to you to be revised, to be fixed of some sort, you know. But on the big level, the Mercury-Saturn conjunction is all about resetting that old karma. And we'll speak about quickly when I speak through the 12 signs. And then the other biggest event, at the same time, we have so much support from this beautiful Neptune trine in Jupiter, which is like an aspect connection of 120 degrees. This is the most harmonious aspect. And this will not happen for many years. Actually, it's the first out of 3 Jupiter trine Neptune, which will continue almost till the summer, to the end of the summer of 2018. This is the first hit now, December. So the whole weekend, maybe some of you are already feeling it. Some of you feel it a few weeks before, a few weeks after. But this week is the exact trine between Neptune and Jupiter. But it's like the initial stages are being set for some opportunities that will come to you through the Jupiter-Neptune trine. We'll speak about each sign, what it means. And after that, because it will repeat 2 more times, throughout next winter, this spring, I think, sorry, for the Northern Hemisphere, and the summer again. This thing will come back again to be, you know, whatever things comes an opportunity now, it will come back again to be reestablished further and integrated further into our life. And we'll see the final results of the opportunities that the Jupiter-Neptune inspirational combination brings us by the end of the summer of 2018. Now it might come just like inklings, like intuitions, like feelings. It might come up as a tangible opportunity, but it might take about 10 months before you see the final results. So don't get impatient and don't say astrology doesn't work. I'm not saying this. This is the first seeds we're planting now with the first positive alignment of Jupiter and Neptune. And it's happening in water signs, which means that this week will be extremely intuitive. Something, if guys, you have a gut feeling about something, I don't care who you are, what your sign is, the Jupiter-Neptune trine, it's, unless you're having very strong, difficult Neptune transits, like position squares, that then you might be misled. But even then, the intuition, the knowledge, the inner knowingness is so powerful this week. It will give you, if you're suspecting something, you'll be usually right. If you're feeling something's not right, that feeling, you'll be right. If you're feeling this is the thing I have to do, I feel it in my bones, you'll be right as well. Why is that? Because Neptune rules psychic abilities, and tuning into the astral world, invisible world, is in esoteric astrology. Neptune rules divine love, and Jupiter rules angelic wisdom. The angelic realms and divine realms. The divine is much higher, and of course human realms. But the angelic wisdom, or I would say like wisdom, of higher wisdom, is Jupiter. Higher knowingness, without the need to read and research. Mercury reads and research. Jupiter knows. Is being amplified by the psychic influence of Neptune, which is almost like, and because Neptune is making good aspects, astral beings from the higher vibrational worlds, not from the low, because they're astral beings that are deluding, that they just want to play pranks with you, just, you know, that they'll send you wrong information to slow down your plans or whatever, to test you. God allows that because it's part of what we have to learn. But because Neptune aligns well with Jupiter, those astral intuitive insights will be correct, like almost like relatives from the invisible realms or higher being or angelic beings as well will be some kind of, will be sending us protection, and will be sending us more like high intuitive wisdom of what's right. And it's very healing influence when Jupiter trines Neptune in the water signs. There will be powerful healings that are taking place in conjunction with those revisions of the past that Saturn Mercury gives, those conclusions of old karma. There is also a flow of holy water and Holy Spirit around us. That's how I would describe the Jupiter-Neptune trine, that is washing away the past, that is washing away the pain, that is washing away old karmic wounds because of the restart of karma, the cleansing of this karma. And it's allowing you to pass through it, almost like giving us some kind of a laxatives, I would say. It's very lubricating, Neptune trine Jupiter, because like this is very constipating, Mercury conjunct Saturn, especially on the galactic center restart button, the root of everything, the beginning of everything. And it might feel like there is this big thing that you have to excrete, you know, and it's so kind of, it's the last push. You have to do something to get rid of something, to revise, to complete, to end, get rid of, or and you feel like you might have been stuck there for a while, but the lubrication of the Jupiter-Neptune trine allows you to pass it and to heal it and to let it go easier. And I would say the whole December will be under the influence of Jupiter-Neptune trine, and the whole 2018 is under the influence of Jupiter-Neptune trine. There are angelic divine powers helping us, guys, because both of those are divine and angelic powers that are really healing, washing us with Holy Spirit and water, holy water, whatever. I don't want to get too mystical. That's why when I'm talking about the specific manifestation about each sign, I'll give you more about everyday reality, what you can expect. So let's start if you're in Aries. If your ascendant and the moon is in Aries, then the Mercury conjunct Saturn is happening in your 9th house. There might be a revision of your goals, revision of your plans for the future that have to be put on hold, or that might be delayed, that have to be dug deeper and something fixed there. There might be something connected to foreign documents or higher education and papers connected to those things that have to come back to you to be fixed, to be redone in some way. There might be also something connected to traveling, 9th house rules, traveling to foreign countries, or any matters connected to foreigners, to faraway places, to teachers, to education, to teaching as well, to higher education that needs to be revised before, you know, before you complete that project. Or maybe some old karma is burning in regards connected to foreign places, in regard connected to father figures as well, the 9th house, also connected to teacher figures. Old karma is maybe coming to be reignited and to be resolved and let go. And also there's a big revision of your belief systems that's happening. Maybe the whole December you'll be feeling that you're revising what do I believe is true. Just like yesterday I'm Aries, and already I'm feeling that I'm questioning a lot of areas of astrology, because the 9th house is your beliefs, your how you perceive reality, your higher studies, your things that makes that through which you make sense of the world. So for me, I've been questioning big portions of astrology and going back and revising and looking at it from different angles. That can be a harrowing process, but your belief systems are being restructured. Your belief systems are being, old ones are being released, wrong ones are being reviewed. And your goals for the future and plans for the future on a more practical level are also changing in some way. And the Neptune trine Jupiter is basically helping you from the 12th house areas and the 8th house. And as I said, you might see the results fully finally of this trine by the end of the summer of 2018. But now the seeds will be planted connected to some releasing something from the past. The 12th house Jupiter allows you to release it from the past, to heal some past trauma. Neptune in the 12th house of the past lifetimes, or completing, ending things, allows you to start healing some trauma that's deeply seated in you. Allows you, maybe some of you might even have this year, starting from next week, some kind of intuitive realizations about past lifetimes, about things that happened in the past that comes to the surface, that liberates you and releases you from certain bondage. Because the 12th house is the house of bondage, but Neptune dissolves that bondage through the help of Jupiter, you're transforming on a deep psychological level something, and allows you to be released from some bondage, whether it's a dependence on substance, whether it's a psychological dependence on another person, mentally, emotionally. So there is this healing wave that will continue the whole 2018 for Aries. On a very deep, it might not be visible for others, but on a deep psychological level areas, you'd feel it releasing the past, healing pain, also healing trauma, and opportunities that come to you in regards some hidden support coming to you from the 12th house, from invisible sources of some sort, almost like angelic support, or from past relatives and loved ones that is supporting you. And that also you can benefit a lot, and some opportunities can come to you to benefit materially through other people's resources, like your partner, your husband, your wife, or maybe you can partner with business with someone. And now the first seeds are coming. And this can definitely, some opportunities will come that will start creating more financial resources that come to you from other places. Plus, if you are into playing the lottery, Neptune in the 12th house is the karma from the past, making Trine to Jupiter, the planet of luck, in the 8th house of money we have not worked for. Maybe play the lottery now, you know. It also might be some good ideas that come to you for investments in other people's resources or in other people's projects as well. That can be happening. Also some healing on of sexual blockages and psychological blockages. Okay, if you're Taurus, the Mercury Saturn conjunction is happening in your 8th house. There might be the need to revise something to do with your taxes, something to do with inheritance, something to do something that comes to you from the past, connected that you haven't, you know, that you haven't paid attention, or you have omitted in regards to mutual resources. Maybe you have a business partnership that you become certainly currently aware that something to do with the mutual resources or finances there needs to be re-examined. You have to rebudget something with your partner. If there are some difficulties connected to loans, banks, other people's money, inheritances, taxes, you're revising all those things. So there's a lot of focus on such 8th house activities, which are quite financial, which are quite connected to resources that comes to you through others, but it's more difficult. You know, you kind of, certain documents might need to be filled in, extra diligent work have to be done. You might need to rely on and search the support of more experienced older people or people with more seniority in such matters. And there might be the need, like say if you're applying for some loan, that before you get it, something has to be completed, has to be fixed in some way. And also Saturn, Mercury being in the 8th house, this is the, on a big scale, grand scale, there is like completions of old traumatic experiences. Maybe you start thinking about that. Someone broke your heart, someone passed away, someone might be in the past 30 years, but it might come to you, someone, you know, something that 8th house is about, big crisis in life and big blockages emotionally. So you might be revising, something will happen to either make you think about it, or to revise such experiences, to think about them, and to, so you're able to close that karmic chapter, to have closure in some way. Okay, but on another level, the Neptune Jupiter trine is helping you a lot. How is that happening? Well, Jupiter is in your 7th house, and as I said, you might see the final results of that now. The seeds are being planted. You'll see the results by the end of the summer of 2018. Neptune trine Jupiter, guys, here. Jupiter is in your 7th house. Neptune is in your 11th house. A friend might introduce you to a new business or personal partner. 11th house friends, 7th house partners. A new beautiful relationship might be starting for you. Jupiter in the 7th house held by Neptune, because Neptune is the divine love, almost like God is blessing you to allow you some good karma, Jupiter, and some healing in regards to relationships, trauma, Scorpio, in regards to maybe someone broke your heart and now someone comes to heal you. And God, Neptune, I'm not saying Neptune represents God. God doesn't live on Neptune, but Neptune has the vibrations of divine, unconditional love. So when Neptune aligns well in our horoscope, God's divine love doesn't have conditions for us. It gives us things out of grace, divine grace, I'll call it. So divine grace comes to us through our friends, through our social interactions, and it helps us somehow with relationships, with partnerships, with contracts, with agreements. And this will continue till the end of the summer of 2018 for the Northern Hemisphere, or the winter for the Southern. And also some kind of a beneficial social contacts can create more popularity for you, or can plant the seeds for more popularity and for some future collaborations that bring more abundance in your life. So stay tuned for that. I would say the whole December, but already it might have started for you next week. Then if you're Gemini, the Mercury Saturn conjunction is happening in your 7th house, opposite, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, there is the ending of karma in regards to certain relationships. But first, you might feel like over the next few weeks, relationships from the past come back, or the thoughts of someone from the past comes back, and you think about those people, and you kind of something that was hidden can come to the surface, or something that was wrong in a relationship will come to be re-examined, and to reset the terms and conditions of the relationship, whether personal or business relationship. And so people from the past can come back to you. There might be some important, serious conversations. When it comes to business, it might be some kind of business deal that or contract that you cannot yet sign, but you have to work further into the details of, and put final touches to make it more fair, to make it more structured and organized. But when it comes to personal relationships, some serious, deep things from the past can come up for you to be re-examined, to be talked over with a partner, personal or business. And if there is no agreement, it might be the end, the finishing of karma with this relationship. And it might be the cleansing of such a relationship from your life. Or if the person is willing and you're willing to meet that person on a different level within a few weeks from now, it just might mean that you complete any problems in that interpersonal relationship and you're opening a new chapter there. So I cannot tell you whether it will be break or move to the next more committed level. It depends on your personal circumstances and how serious both sides are into the commitment. So also some old commitments that are mutual, like business or commitments connected to a relationship, can come for you to be worked on harder, that can demand more of your attention, that can demand revising and improving in some way. But don't worry, because this is the last time Saturn is in your 7th house. Then it's going to move into your 8th house for 2.5 years. We spoke about that in the December videos. So the karmic issues will shift, but for now, it's almost like re-examination of old relationships, of what the past, cleansing up of the past, connected to other people, to business or personal relationship. Serious thinking about what's to stay and what's to go, and some serious decisions that you might take, and also some intense situations with such people, because it's the final push. What is helping you is the Jupiter trine Neptune that continues till the end of 2018, but now it plants the seeds in something connected to, especially the Neptune is in your 10th house, Jupiter is in your 6th house. So if you're if you're Gemini ascendant Sun or Moon, there is something that's happening in your life connected, opportunities that are coming to your career and work. 6th house is employment, 10th house is your reputation and the highest achievements you can have. So good news is that Neptune, divine grace, Neptune, and divine intuition, Jupiter, and wisdom and blessings basically are coming to you in the sphere of work and career and reputation. While relationships might be more like the final push, then at least in your career and your work, there might be new opportunities, maybe a new better position, maybe an opportunity for some kind of promotion that comes to you, maybe an opportunity for reward in regards to your worldly, the efforts you've made, maybe a new project that can give results and flourish over the next 10 months. Maybe some improvement of relationship with a boss, authority figure, father figure. Improvement of relationship between employees and employers, bosses and employees as well. Maybe improvement of the work conditions as well as opportunities. Plus improvement of health. Jupiter is in your 6th house, guys. Some knowledge of finding the right doctor can come to help you improve some health situation, or you might undertake now, almost by divine grace and inspiration, some healing can happen in the physical body. Even if you don't undertake it, as I said, Neptune is divine grace from the 10th house, can help you heal some health problem, or maybe some authority figure and more knowledgeable figure can come into your life and start this healing in some sort. But on a practical level, you have almost like powerful intuition, what is right and what is wrong to do with your career, with your work, with your vocation, matters connected to your colleagues, to bosses. Your intuition and your gut instinct will be telling you also matters connected to your health. You'd be like, I have to stop eating dairy, or I'm not gluten intolerant. I realize now that my big issue is that I shouldn't eat meat, or whatever, something. You can have some intuitive knowing what to do with a health problem to solve it. And it might take a long time until the 3rd Neptune trine Jupiter, until you manifest that for you. Then if you're Cancer, Mercury conjunct Saturn is happening in your 6th house, guys, which indicates that there is the ending of, and maybe bringing to the surface, some health problem that can come because it's in the 6th house, some chronic issue that gets inflamed, that requires you to look further to fix something in regards to your daily routines. And it's done a bit more by force because it's Saturn and Mercury. And maybe some health problem that has been there flares up, but it allows you, because it's happening at the galactic center, to end the karma with some health problem. To end it by examining it, by looking at it deeper, and by fixing something, and then move forward and remove this kind of karma. Also, maybe some work project from the past, in the 6th house is work, can come to you to be edited, revised, something, to be fixed. So maybe some enmity can be reawakened, so it needs to be completed and gotten a closure to 6th house rules, enmities. And also debt, some debt from the past can come that you need to, I'd say not pay it off, but that you need to complete it finally. You put a closure to some debt now. Might take a few weeks, basically, and then when Saturn moves into Capricorn and Mercury is direct, it happens around the same time. There is no longer such debt in your life, no longer such debt of service as well. Also, some of you might be re-examining your work position in place of work, and you might be like, this is, I don't want to prayer. I'm putting, seeing something that doesn't work in regards to their work environment and their with colleagues, some work projects of some sort, and doing some adjustments there, having to work harder, using a lot of their skills, Mercury, to fix things in some way. But, by the end of this process, a few weeks from now, you'll be finished. You might be completing some project, as I said. You might be completing some difficult situation connected to debt, to service, to extra duties and responsibilities, which might come to you. And then you move, or a health problem. But where is the help coming from? Neptune in your 9th house is making trine to Jupiter in your 5th house. Well, you have powerful intuition currently about your, and support almost. Support comes to you through your good karma from the past, because both the 9th and 5th house are connected to the good actions we've had. And Neptune is in the 9th house of divine blessings, and Neptune is divine love. So it's almost like, good luck can come to you because you deserved it somehow. I know I'm sounding too mystical, no specific, but you're completing some important work here in the 6th house, and the same new opportunities are starting to open for you in the 9th and 5th house through divine intervention, almost very smoothly, very positively. What does it mean? Your 9th house is opportunities for travel can appear, and this can open up to the end of the summer of 2018. Remember, this aspect will repeat two more times. It might be now that you get the inkling that you want to travel, Neptune in the 9th house, and that these opportunities will open doors for you and increase your luck and horizons over the next 7, 8, 9, 10 months. Also something to do with higher education. You might be now to pre-qualify, to change something with your educational status, to get accepted to good university, or to find a good teacher of some sort, Neptune in the ninth house, and to find the right students. Jupiter fifth house is students, ninth house is teachers. Anyone who does anything with teaching and students and educational, wants, you know, to get accepted anywhere. These are opportunities that are coming for you, Cancers, for travel and for love. Jupiter is in the fifth house, the house of falling in love and having children as well. So if there was some blockage now, and your Cancer now over the next 10 months can be the beginning, just this week can be the beginning stages of some new romantic experience or a new phase of your romantic life. And if you want children, it's like divine grace because of your good deeds and because of good karma from, or just because God is, not because you deserve it, but because God has blessings for each of us unconditionally. This is Neptune and Jupiter as well. God will give you your wish, will grant you a wish for love, fifth house, for new horizons, expansion, travel, ninth house, for anything to do with foreign country, ninth house, anything to do with business connected to import, export, anything connected to having children, anything connected to falling in love and being loved. And anything connected, if you're praying for something good in the life of your children, Neptune, Jupiter, you know, Jupiter is in your fifth house, it will come. Or your grandchildren, the ninth house is grandchildren, the fifth house is children. Something good can be coming to you from those areas, something very, or if you need support, those people will be there. If you're Leo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, the Mercury-Saturn conjunction is happening in your fifth house. And that means that some completion of karma connected to love, your love life, maybe some old love connection can come. Or you might be thinking a lot about some past relationship or love relationship, or maybe you might be dissatisfied with how your partner expresses their love to you. So you have some important conversations, you bring them to the surface about being more romantic, expressing romantic things. Also, some responsibilities and duties can come that are more heavier or that needs to be reworked in regards to something to do with your creative projects. And again, as I said, this whole Saturn conjunction Mercury is about the final escalation, and within a few weeks from now, you'll be released from any issue connected to your love life, fifth house, any issue connected to pain, connected to the past that hurt your ego, but connected to love, to romantic experiences, you'll be released. But maybe first it needs to be like a healing crisis, reignited and re-examined. Also, you'll be brought to the surface maybe some old creative projects or hobbies that you need to put into actions. Maybe you need to use very strongly your intelligence and talents to work on some creative project or some project that's personally yours somehow. To edit, to revise, to put the final touches. For example, I'm putting the final touches, and I'm Leo Moon to my, to a project that's very dear to me, that's been in the making since Saturn entered Sagittarius. And now this week and the week after that is when I'm finally completing it, which is about you checking for free. Every one of you can check for free your personal transits every week. And I don't think that's available anywhere with texts and everything. People can share the experiences of what happened when they had that transit, so I'll be editing, re-editing, and fixing things that are not working with this project of mine, which is a creative personal project of mine, so it can be good, and something to do with children, responsibilities with children as well, or students, fifth house, can come to be revised, to be edited, or to make closing chapter with that. Some karmic situation connected to a child or a lover or a student of yours or a creative project of yours can come to a completion and conclusion, but first escalating and then being released or being solved in some way. What is helping you is Neptune trine Jupiter in your 4th and 8th houses. So for the next 12 months, starting from December, there might be first like inklings, like ideas, like inspirations, and they fully get implanted in your life, those opportunities, by the end of the summer 2018. But now the seeds What is helping you is that you have such powerful intuition, guys, because those planets of divine wisdom and intuition are in emotional houses. You feel it in your bones what's right and what's wrong. Some secrets come to the surface, which liberate you, because Neptune is a planet of being released. The eighth house, the house of secrets, some secrets, and they liberate you not in a shocking way, not in a, you know, I found out he's been cheating on me or whatever. It's more like you find out some information that was hidden. Eighth house is hidden resources, hidden information that that liberates you, that heals you in some way. And that's very, because it's happening in emotional houses and it's in earth and it's in water signs, both are connected to washing away the pain from the past, washing away, being washed in a divine spirit of love of some sort. And so for all the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, this trine of Jupiter, Neptune is very spiritual, very intuitive, and it heals the past. It heals past life pains and traumas and blockages that we're unaware of, that self-sabotages. Both the fourth house is our, you know, eighth house is secrets, things we hide from others. Fourth house is our past and our childhood and things that might have hurt us, especially in Scorpio, that are more traumatic. So it's we're removing the Neptune Jupiter trine is removing those underwater stones that are sabotaging you from certain successes that are based on emotional situations. So there's emotional healing happening here in a powerful way, but you can expect opportunities to come to you in regards to your family. Maybe something, your family becomes a support, or maybe finding the right place to live. Jupiter is in the fourth house, finding the right property, selling the property at a good price. Almost like God is divinely gracing you with sorting problems connected to and getting new opportunities in regards to real estate, property, place of living, family matters, and also Neptune being in the eighth house is also some hidden resources. So someone comes and helps you. Eighth house is the support we receive from others, material, psychological, emotional. So some support, hidden support almost. Neptune comes and helps you in some sort, psychologically, emotionally, or, you know, it might be just even angelic presence that is doing that. Also, you might be sorting certain financial support can come to us from others. So increase the finances that come to us from other people's resources. Maybe you'll be able, something to do with taxes, to sort out better, something to find good solutions and to maybe you find now a right place to put your money, invest. Eighth house is investing somehow, and to, or if you have something to do with, if you have a business partnership, eighth house is the financial rewards of that business partnership. So now opportunities are coming to you in regards to such financial rewards that can come and might take 10 months before you see the results of those seeds. But stay open, because support is coming from other people's resources, connected to other people's money, inheritances, taxes. You can do something with taxes and inheritances that is not perceptible, that others don't understand, that help, and that is not harmful to others as well, but that helps improve your situation as well. Okay, then Virgo, it's happening in your fourth house, Mercury conjunct Saturn. So if you have Sun, Moon, or Ascendant in Virgo, there might be the ending of some karmic situation in your family, personal life. If there were some complications with property, they might escalate now to, or you might be thinking about matters of the past and family relationships from the past, because Mercury is about examining the past, looking back at them, maybe nostalgically, or maybe you're trying to sell a property and it's not selling. You're trying to move and it's being stalled and blocked. And now Saturn goes retrograde. Mercury goes retrograde in your fourth house. So maybe now you see if there's some damage or problems with your property and that you can fix, you know, that you can address seriously. But that's the last time, if there are any problems with family, home property, that these will be solved now, and that you have to deal with such things. For example, my relocated ascendant is Virgo, so I check always my Virgo prediction, because when you relocate to a new place, you have to check Your ascendant, the transits from the ascendant for the new place. It changes, you know, if you live on the other end of the world or in a different state or whatever. So I've been trying to replicate, but Saturn in the fourth house for the last, you know, trying to buy property is not happening easy. It's just the delays, the blockages we can. And great, you might be like, you know, now that is the final time when those delays happening, you have to re-examine, you have to understand what exactly it is that you want, or fix something around the home or whatever, so you can move on after that when Saturn and Mercury both get out of Sagittarius within a month and a half from now. If there are any family problems, delays and issues, and too many responsibilities. Sorry, oops. The electricity keeps coming on and off, so sorry about that. I'll just keep talking even if it gets dark. So any issues connected to family, to responsibilities, they can escalate now, but this is the final time. They'll be revised. There'll be, you know, anything to do with moving and stuff like that. And where is the support coming from, Virgo? Well, Neptune and Jupiter in trine in your third and in your seventh house. So for the next 10 months, starting from this week, there'll be new opportunities in regards to being more social and connecting with people, creating new friendships or new contacts. Third house is contacts. Seventh house is personal relationships. So for example, now teammates or workmates can introduce you to a new partner, a business or personal partner. Or maybe your partner can introduce you to new friends. You know, third house is any social contacts you have. Or maybe if you want to increase your popularity, seventh house is one's popularity, being in the public eye, somehow having audience. This can be great start for you to become more public. This can be a great start, the Jupiter-Neptune trine, to collaborate with others, to somehow to build bridges with others. So this is the first seeds that started to get built from next week, or maybe already it started. Some partners can appear who inspire you, personal or business partners, or just people that are in your everyday life. Plus also some associations can start being created, which will be very useful for you, which can be very gainful as well in some sort. So relationships support you, and good things can come to you through relationships of any sort. Plus something good can happen, some business partnership can happen for seventh house, business partnership, third house, commercial activities, some business partnership can happen, and also siblings, teammates, workmates, friends, so you can create some business partnerships with someone from your close environment. Or maybe some contracts can open opportunities to sign contracts that create more commercial opportunities for you. Also opportunities to promote yourself more through marketing, advertising, media, to learn new things. Also maybe someone comes and inspires you about learning new skills. You know, third house is skills, and maybe third house also traveling. Some opportunities for travel can come to you now, maybe in a partnerships of some sort. So if you want to be successful, that's this aspect, as I said, we'll repeat 2 more times, Virgos. Do business partnerships, do personal partnerships, build bridges with others, do anything to do with marketing, advertising, social media, networking, and you'll reach bigger groups of people, and these people will be helping you. Also partner with others, business or personal, and also relationships should become, there might be almost like a magical relationship that comes in your life, committed relationship, because Neptune, the planet of miracles and God's divine blessing, is making a trine to Jupiter. So maybe online, third house is online, internet, you can meet someone, or maybe you can go out, walk on the street, third house. The street is coffee place, things around your neighborhood, it's your workmate environment, it's the familiar area around you where you go daily. You can meet someone suddenly magically, or through some kind of electronic devices or communication devices. Anyway, if you're Libra, this is happening, this Mercury Saturn conjunction, the ending of old karma is happening in your third house. So there might be some commercial activities that come to be revised, for example, completing some marketing project or completing some administrative project that needs to be revised and edited, rebranding a product, or third house is communication with others, maybe some and some documents from the past have to be revised, or they're lost, or they have to be redone in some way. So this can create some complications. There are maybe some devices, there might be some problems with communication devices and information, or if there was some wrong information given to you, or you passed some wrong information, you become aware of it so you can fix it, because third house rules all those things. Maybe some relationships to siblings, teammates, workmates, schoolmates from the past can come to you. Also associates, business or personal associates of any sort is the third house. People you communicate daily on, working in a small group environment can get more demanding, more requiring more responsibilities, more efforts, more duty, maybe needs to be revised, maybe prolonged business meetings can be happening with Mercury Saturn in the third house. So be prepared for that. And maybe some plans, business plans or travel plans as well. Third house rules all kind of plans, especially more like technical plans. We're going to go here, we're going to go there, this is the ticket, this is whatever. They can be a bit more burdensome and heavy on responsibility, or kind of create some complications. So be aware of that on a more material level. On a big scale, you're completing a huge chunk of karma over the next few weeks with Mercury conjunct Saturn in the galactic center. In regards to matters connected to difficult karmas with siblings, with relatives, difficult karma connected to communication, information, to blockages to your skills in some sort. Maybe you're completing, maybe some skills from the past are coming now that you need to revise, and you need to revive as well and use. And also third house is, okay, siblings, relatives. It's not such a difficult house, to be honest, and re-examining your some work projects and things like that. But just be careful with communication devices. But otherwise, Mercury Saturn is completing in your third house any kind of karma connected to difficult karma, and that's for a long time ahead, connected to matters of relationships of any sorts, relationships that with people from your everyday life, workmates, playmates, schoolmates. You're completing something there. If there is some wound, if there is some blockage, it comes to, you think about it and you come to try and heal it and solve it in some way and fix it. And anything to do with papers, documents, we talked about that. What is helping you? Well, actually have very powerful material intuition now, because Jupiter and Neptune are in your second and in your sixth house. They're both connected to finances, to work. So when it comes to your work and when it comes to your financial situation and even to your health, Neptune is the house of health, you have powerful intuition. You might feel like, I shouldn't be eating those foods, or this is exactly the food I should eat, and you can solve a big health problem. Or you might read an article, some kind of like through divine intervention and inspiration, you'll find the right answer in regards to some health problem, in regards to some nutritional dietary problem in your life. Also in regards to some financial problem. If there was some financial issues, now Jupiter Neptune trine gets triggered, and you should resolve them by the last Jupiter trine Neptune. So some opportunities can come to you for you, and ideas in regards to how to increase your resources and financial stability, Jupiter in the second house, how to do it through work and service in some way, or maybe how to change, maybe opportunities to change your work or work environment, which will allow you to increase your finances. But again, you might just be putting the seeds now, and you might see the final results a bit later, because there are 2 more hits of that transit. So anything connected to work and resources supports each other and helps each other. Also, sixth house is debt, so maybe some kind of source of income can come to you, which helps you solve a debt almost like by divine grace within the next 10 months. If you're Scorpio, Well, Mercury Saturn in the second house says that you might be careful. You have to be careful financially for the next few weeks, especially next week. Don't make rash investments. Don't invest in something that's risky. Don't be risky with your money. Don't spend money on things. Saturn cautions us to be careful. And for many Scorpios, they've had to be careful for a long time with their money for 2.5 years. And it's almost like the final escalation of that. And just if maybe some money from the past can come back to you because Mercury is retrograde there, or maybe some financial issues from the past can come back to be re-examined, to be fixed, to be improved in some way on. You might have to do like a new financial budget. You might have to do like a new change something in the way how you're doing your resources and finances, or maybe some financial obligation from the past can reappear now to be dealt with. But on the grand scale, because Mercury and Saturn have conjoined the galactic center, so it's a reset of karma in regards to your values and resources. You can have a big cleansing over the next few weeks in regards to matters that have been blocking you for years, so lifetimes connected to how much your self-worth is, and because of that, it's been blocking wealth and abundance coming to you. So whatever events are happening, consider them as burning of karma, of material karma in particular, that's connected to money, resources, finances, and your self-worth. And when Mercury and Saturn are both out of Sagittarius within a month from now approximately, you'll have a clean slate to start all over, to create new wealth. If someone told you you'll never be rich, or if someone told you you'll never, or you've always like you had some financial issue or some sense of inadequacy in regards to your self-worth, or some sense of inadequacy of resources and availability of resources, and you don't know where it's stemming from, by a month from now, there'll be a big, you might have cleansed a lot of those issues actually. So you start for the next 29 years on a new slates to create more financial material stability and more realistic self-worth, and more productive self-worth. What is helping you? Well, Scorpio, Jupiter is making a trine from your sign to Neptune in your 5th house. Romantic love can come through divine grace. If you're Scorpio, Sun, or Ascendant, and you've been you haven't had love for a long time, or love that is always painful. Now Neptune, divine blessing, is making a trine to your Jupiter. So maybe from this week, and this is something that can implant itself romantically, lastingly in your life for quite a few, it will take a few months to implant lastingly, but it might be the first seeds. You might meet someone now, or there might be some kind of a healing of romantic relationship that comes to you, that starts a process of healing anything to do with and releasing painful feelings, because Neptune is about releasing in regards to how lovable you feel and in regards to your love life. Also, and it's almost like, why are you attracting better love? Because you are opening yourself more, Jupiter, in your 1st house. You are starting to believe more. You are starting to, or somehow you're doing some action because Jupiter is in your 1st house, or it's due to your good kind actions somehow based on good karma or whatever, because Jupiter is the good karma of a person. Things that you've done good that triggers good karma in your love life, that triggers good karma in regards to children. If you want to have children, Jupiter trine Neptune can be a fantastic time next week to try for it, and till the end of the summer of 2018, because this aspect will till then, let's say, not as intense as next week and the week after, but still active. Also, something good can be happening, some support can be coming to you through your children, or something good can be happening in the life of your children. Also, some creative or artistic, you can discover a new passion in your life that takes roots over the next 6, 7, 10 months, because 5th house is something we're passionate about, that we love with our heart, just like we love our lovers, the people we're in love with, our children, and anything else. So it might be creative or project, it might be to create some business of some sort, but this is something that will inspire your heart, that will heal you, because it's in the water signs of healing, and that will make you have stronger confidence and see yourself in a better light, that will attract more abundance. Jupiter in the first house is abundance to you personally, because Scorpio, Jupiter is in Scorpio, but somehow either a new creative hobby, a new passion, a new love in our love will gradually open us up as well to attracting more abundance and happiness and starting a new chapter in our lives and healing a lot of pain. And then, if you're Sagittarius, the Mercury-Saturn conjunction is happening in your first house, guys. Especially Sagittarius that in the last 10 days born. But for all Sagittarius, this is a reset of karma. Saturn is for the last few weeks with Mercury in your in your own sign. It's been there for 2.5 years. You know, it wasn't easy, but it was a powerful period of maturation. Many Sagittarius say, I hate it. I didn't mature at all. It just smashed me. I feel smashed. I don't feel mature. But you know, you feel proud when Saturn moves away from your sign, that you are able to endure, because Saturn is the planet that wants to teach us to have a backbone and to endurance, and that us to overcome, to handle suffering and pains and delays and stuff like that. And it toughens us up. So when it moves away, you would be like, I'm so proud of myself. But it's like almost any last challenges that are happening all over your life can come, and almost like this will be a very introverted period for a couple of weeks or 3 weeks, that you're thinking about the new beginnings that you started in the past, that you're thinking about the endings that you had in the past, that you're thinking about all the, actually even the past 29 years. Almost like you're looking back and you're reevaluating what happened. And things from the past can come very strongly to you, especially connected to relationships, because Mercury rules your 7th house, is retrograde in your first house. Retrograde means something from the past. First house is you. 7th house is relationship coming to you. And maybe some important conversations have to be led with important people and to get closure. Saturn, Mercury retrograde will allow you to get closure about the past. And by the end of December, both of them will be out of your sign. So any difficulties, karmic complications, delays, any deeper, more serious states of mind, more sadder or more intense, they'll go away. Like all the clouds will start dispersing from the end of December, and you're on a new karmic path. The reset button has been pressed, and maybe now you feel it very strongly. All those revelations, reminiscing. On another level, on a more mundane, practical level, is that maybe some projects or some old contracts, or Mercury rules 7th house of contracts, and partnerships are coming to be something to be completed in regards to them, or maybe some kind of you're required to use your skills to complete something, to revise something, to fix something. Mercury retrograde in your sign, Sagittarius, is very much about completing certain mercurial task, which is intellectual work connected to writing, speaking, communicating, fixing them. Some problems in regards to communications will come to the surface, so you can change them, re-examine them. And they're very much connected to relationships as well. Also, Saturn rules your 2nd house, so something to do with finances might have to be re-examined and fixed, or re-planned in some way. Maybe in a partnership with another, but you're actively involved with that as well. So there might be just more responsibilities and duties on you that require extra efforts, attention to detail, more having to do more than you want to do. But by the end of December, you'll have completed something and moved on. And done it in a very mature, professional way. It's good for any kind of business, professional work. On the personal level, it might be a bit more intense, though. And what is helping you, Sagittarius? Neptune is trining Jupiter from your 4th and 12th houses, and that will continue of 2018. But this is the first hit, and there will be 2 more hits. So now the seeds are being planted for you. Something good can happen in regards to place of living. For example, opportunity to live in a better place can come, opportunity to sell property, 4th house, for a better price, opportunity to relocate, opportunity to heal a relationship with family, to leave behind some personal emotional issue. Both the 12th and the 4th house are emotional houses, which indicate emotional states that we carry from past lifetimes or from this lifetimes that might be subconsciously blocking us, like underwater stones that are blocking us and that we're self-sabotaging ourselves through. And these two healing influences, Neptune and Jupiter being there, allow us to release pain, to release a lot of emotional baggage. It's this year, it will be about releasing emotional baggage so you feel freer to move forward, you know, and you've started a new beginning already for a lot of you Sagittarius. But there is this powerful healing that's happening. There is hidden support coming to you from Jupiter in the 12th house. Someone or something you're not aware of that is vying for you, that is helping you already from next week, that you are not aware of it as an opportunity, that is almost hidden to you, that is supporting you and opening doors for you in some way. Also, this can be a fantastic time to do some kind of past life regression, spiritual work, healing, cleansing, spiritual protection. You have powerful spiritual protection almost the whole 2018, starting from this week. Prayers will be heard much more powerfully for you guys. If you want prayers, if you're someone who's been prayed for this position, or if you've never prayed, I advise you, Sagittarius, do Jupiter is receiving trine in the 12th house of the invisible world. Jupiter and Neptune are both planets connected to divine, angelic, divine forces as well. So you can receive by miracle an answer to a prayer of yours of some sort. And there is strong support coming to you from family, past and living ones that are in the invisible world, also living ones, and healing of such issues that are blocking you. And it can be a fantastic time if you want to travel somewhere. Jupiter trine Neptune, 12 houses in a faraway country. Go far away, Thailand, Fiji, whatever, you know. There'll be opportunities for traveling or for foreign places for you for the next 10 months. And also for relocating Neptune in the 4th house, and even for starting a family of some sort, because Neptune in the 4th house is about almost finding your spiritual family that you belong to, and doing it in an easy way, in a smooth way, and finding the right place to live and finding the right place you feel like you belong to. And the first seeds might be planted from now. And also if you're in real estate, or if you're in anything to do with foreign countries and travel, this can be opportunities for good financial or for good career developments will start from next week already, 12 house rules. And also if you work in hospitals, if you work in healing, in medical, in prisons, in faraway places, in healing of some sort, or if you work in property, family, nurturing, catering, opportunities are coming to you. And they're starting to open from next week. If you're a Capricorn, the Mercury-Saturn conjunction is happening in your 12th house. And 12th house is about completing, ending things. So you might be wrapping up and something from the past, and re-examining the past. Maybe a lot of you Capricorns will be feeling like, what do I need to remove from my life? What is not working? What is working? And if there was some gossip or something hidden happening behind you, it might come to the surface now with this Mercury retrograde. If someone was doing something, or maybe something was said and was misunderstood, miscommunicated. So you have to be careful not to make mistakes, but you become aware of them and they have to be fixed when it comes to communication, to writing, speaking, but at the same time also any kind of business projects, administrative projects. It's in the 12th house. It's kind of things that you have omitted, they come to be fixed, to be revised now in some way, to be improved. But also hidden enemies is the 12th house. So someone who might have behind your back been doing something, or, you know, might come to the surface now with the Saturn-Mercury conjunction. So it can be, how do I say, it culminates for the last time, so it can be released from your life, so it can be addressed and fixed, and you can move on, and you don't have to deal with such kind of conniving forces behind your back in some sort. Also, if there's some plans for faraway travels, they might be delayed, there might be complications, there might be the need to replan in some way, you know, unless it's a travel, faraway travel in a faraway place in regards to business and work, then it can be quite demanding and you need to be very careful. But be careful with all kinds of details, with also losing devices. So how's the house of loss, you know, device of communication, of phones, laptops, breaking, you know, things like that, being stolen. And on a positive level, this can indicate you're completing some commercial project or some kind of mercurial activities, which is in business, administrative, you know, educational, requiring your skills. You're completing it and you're revising, and you're preparing for one such future one, and putting the final touches of your preparation before you're ready to move on. After that, when Mercury goes direct into 3 weeks from now, and Saturn 3 weeks from now, and Saturn comes out of your sign. But it might feel a little bit that things are a little bit out of your hand. They've been put into action already from previous months or periods. So now you're seeing more like the results of those things, and you're putting final adjusting touches to those. There is though powerful support, as for everyone. The trine of Neptune and Jupiter is happening in your 11th and 3rd houses. These are social houses. And for the next 10 months, those planets will be within orb of this trine, and you'll see the final results by the end of the summer. But good things are coming to you through communicating with others, by creating new friendships, and by creating new contacts. Fantastic time to become more popular. Fantastic time if you want to be in the public eye. 11th house, the public house, or 3rd house, the house of marketing, advertising. So these two planets harmonizing together, you can start like a marketing campaign or a YouTube channel or whatever. Or, you know, if you have a product you want to bring out there on the marketplace, the 11th house is the marketplace of gains. You can bring it out, or you might have great new ideas for a new project, for new commercial activities that will be gainful and that will require skills. But almost like inspiration comes to you in regards to a project or something that will become gainful and give you results. Plus, you can create some new colleagues now, or friendships or associations that will be very beneficial and useful to you. So make contacts, go out there, connect with others, with friends or whatever. They can come with great ideas for you, even if they don't materialize immediately. Might take a few months, but you know, those bridges you're building now are the ones that will help you when Saturn enters your sign and stays there for the next 2.5 years. From next week, some ideas that come to you through others, through collaborating with others, through large activities connected to large groups of people, to bringing products to the market, to business commercial activities, activities connected to gainfulness in some sort. 11th house, you know, activities connected to popularity, to organizing meetings, committees, creating connections with others. They'll be the ones that help you build your new foundations when Saturn enters your sign. Okay, then Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. Mercury conjunct Saturn is in your 11th house. Well, that means that you're completing some 11th house is our long-term goal, something that we've been working on. So maybe something that you've been working on that is can have also kind of gainful results for you will be coming now to be completed, and requires a lot of your extra efforts and attention to detail to fix things that are not working there as well. Plus also the 11th house is something connected to groups of people. So you might see more criticism coming to you from big groups of people, or big groups of people, or audience of some sort pointing out to you what doesn't work, what's wrong, or what's not wrong. Maybe some mentor figure, the 11th house as well, coming to you as with a more critical eye and trying to show you where there's some problems, you know, so you can fix them. So yes, there might be some, you know, things that stress you out there a bit more, but you're completing that. You know, if there are any omissions, you'll notice them and you try to fix them. Plus the 11th house is friendship. So maybe a friendship from the past will appear, will reconnect with you. And not only that, but maybe you can get closure about some friendship, or maybe you can get an understanding of what happened. Also, it can indicate that you're revising your long-term goals and dreams, that something is not practical or realistic, so you have to fix something there. You have to improve it over the next few weeks. But be careful in your communications with people generally, 11th houses, colleagues, big groups of people, your social communications, because they are inclined to be more critical, but they're also inclined to give you constructive criticism. So listen to that as well. And you're completing, maybe you revise the past 2.5 years, you look back over the next month, I'd say month, starting from next week, you'll start thinking more about your social situation, your social activity, friendships in your life, your long-term goals that you're reevaluating and re-examining and changing in some way. Mercury retrograde is about changing things, plan B, C, fixing. And then by the end of December, both Mercury and Saturn will be coming out of Sagittarius. So any kind of karma connected to they're completing of a goal, seeing the results of a goal. You've been working on some blockages getting removed in regards to your social life, in regards to friendships, blockages getting removed a month from now onward in regards to your connections with people, blockages being removed in regards to the fulfillment of seeing the results and being awarded in some way. 11th house is gains and honors and awards and seeing the completion of some goal. But what is helping you is that you have powerful intuition when it comes, and it's going to stay with you for the next 10 months, when it comes to matters connected to finances and to your career. So very powerful intuition in regards to material things in your life. You might have a gut feeling, for example, oh, don't invest your money here. A gut feeling, oh, I should put my money, I should take them from the bank and do something with them over the next 10 months. This is the right feeling. Write those down. The Neptune, Jupiter is highly intuitive. It's in water signs, but they trigger your material houses of work and career. You might have a good intuition to do something in regards to your career that will take you to the right place, that will bring you more professional recognition or promotion of some sort, or more resources and finances. Listen to that gut. The ideas are coming, inspirations are coming, and opportunities will come to you, maybe to change a job, and which will increase your resources. So maybe something in regards to, if there is something that is blocking you in regards to your resources and money, and to be liberated from such blockage through a move that you make in regards to your career and public image, which will unblock and which will, because Neptune is about releasing, so second house is about your resources, releasing certain blockages that you've had in regards to your resources. It should be over the next 10 months, starting from next week, opportunities coming to you to grow financially, reputation, and to do some worldly actions, Jupiter in the 10th house, in regards to your career, which will have positive repercussions in regards to your resources and finances. Neptune, Pisces, if you're Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, Neptune and Saturn will be in your 10th house. So 10th house is your career, authority figures. If there were some karmic situations with an older figure, authority figure, or institution, maybe with government or whatever, or maybe with people in power, or maybe with a father figure, or maybe with a boss, if you've had some clashes or some kind of difficulties, this might come to, for the last time, to be revised, to be seen, to be resolved, to be let go of, to be finished in some way, because this is the burning of karma of Mercury, Neptune, conjunct the galactic center. Any blockages that you've been putting yourself subconsciously when in regards to your career and worldly success, which is the 10th house, maybe based on past lifetimes, maybe based on difficult or wrong understanding or wrong belief system or whatever it is, but it's directly impacting your career success. Well, now there's a completion of that karmic cycle. And Saturn will again be in your 10,028 years from now. So there is like a final removal of blockages in regards to your career. Reset button is being pressed in clearing karma to do with authority figures, with any kind of your attitude to authority, with any kind of career and worldly actions and worldly achievements. On a more everyday level, it might require that in the next few weeks you have to work extra hard to complete some work project. You might have some important negotiations, business negotiations with people in authority. You might have to put extra efforts to win the improve a relationship with a boss, to fix some problems with authorities and institutions. But by January, sorry, it's almost like all issues connected to work, connected to your vocation, connected to your goals and career. Career is the 10th house and worldly reputation day. And connected to structures, restructuring something in your career will be finished so you can move on to very different area in your life. There'll be a big shift that you feel after Saturn moves out of your 10th house. But Mercury brings those issues for the last time, completing certain things in regards to your career for the last time. Helping you, though, is Jupiter and Neptune trine. Neptune is in your sign. You're one of the signs that will feel this trine for the next 10 months most strongly. Jupiter in your 9th house, Neptune is in your... So powerful support comes to you through teachers. Maybe some of you might find a new teacher, a new inspirational figure, a new mentor of a sort that is new goals, that is helping you see reality from a higher perspective, or maybe some coach or advisor that appears in your life that helps you magically manifesting in your personal life. Neptune is about manifesting first houses in your whole life, and Jupiter, of course, in the 9th is mentors, teachers, inspirational figures that are there, that uplift us and that help us from a higher perspective. Maybe you'll find a new belief system. Maybe you start studying astrology, Jupiter in the 9th house of higher knowledge, that will allow you to and start a lot of powerful new beginnings in your life, almost in a magical, smooth, easy way. If you're older, maybe something good can come from your grandchildren. Something good can be happening in the life of your grandchildren. Jupiter is in the 9th house. Also, something positive can happen in regards to, and the seeds in regards to you traveling. And that will open new horizons for you, or in regards to pre-qualifying, getting accepted to some university, starting on some new professional direction, which is about learning something new, though. And Jupiter will open those doors for you to start learning something new that will set you on a path that feels much more connected to your higher purpose and much more meaningful. And so it's finding meaning, it's finding purpose. It's support good things that happen if you're trying to, for example, to get some documents connected to foreign countries solved, or something to do with having access to foreign countries or traveling to foreign countries. Your personal actions, Neptune in the 1st house, will allow you to get that. I always wanted to visit some country or to live in another country. Go for it now. Start those preparation steps now. Opportunities will appear for that as well. Or any kind of academic or educational goals, if you have, there will be an opportunity for you to. Plus, Jupiter trine Neptune in the 1st house has your intuition is so powerful. Some of you might be having like prophetic dreams or seeing the future. You're already quite psychic as Pisces, but with both those signs in a trine, in the 9th and 1st house for you, 9th house is the house of prophecy and seeing the future. Wow, some of you might be really on fire. And 9th house is setting goals as well, goals for the future. And Jupiter will be inspiring you to set new goals for the future that are much more in line with your true self, which are much more truthful, because Jupiter is the planet of truth, which are much more realistic. They can happen almost in a magical way, even if they're not, like, they can happen in a magical way, because Neptune from the 1st house, you have a magic touch for the next 10 months. Allows you, starting next week, that allows you for certain new goals and horizons to open for you. and to learn new things, expand your consciousness. Anyway, wow. Thank you so much. Again, it's not very specific because I need to, to know the specific horoscope and things like that, or if you live in a different country, to look at the transits from this relocated chart. Still, this gives you some orientation on what to expect, where complications might be going. Oh, I think it's long enough, 1 hour and a half or more. Thank you so much for staying with me, for listening to me, for bearing with me, and check out the webinars next week on Saturday and Sunday with Marina and Robert Phoenix. They're both about personal predictions about yourself. So Saturn in Capricorn with Robert Phoenix, and Marina Heliacal phases, which planets are visible and invisible in your personal horoscope. She sends you calculations to each participant. We have 50 people so far. She's been working day and night to calculate for every person. And we'll look at those tables and she'll explain what it means for you when you have success in what area of your life for the next 5 years. So thank you so much. I love you all, and I'll see you next week.